The Sherwood Park Crusaders pick up their 18th win as the home team and 17th win here at the Sherwood Park Arena on Saturday night as they beat their arch rivals, the Bonnyville Pontiacs, by a score of 4-1, redeeming themselves last night as they fell 5-4 to the Bonnyville Pontiacs in the first half of a home-and-home weekend series against Bonnyville. Taylor Medak and Adam Kamara with you here. The post-game wrap, Sherwood Park defeating the Pontiacs 4-1, Adam. And what a game it really was. A very close one, playoff-like atmosphere. It was a war, bodies flying everywhere, some great goaltending on both ends. And the Crusaders come out on top. Just a great bounce-back effort after dropping last night 5-4.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, during the game, the Crusaders were under heavy artillery from the Bonnyville Pontiacs. The Pontiacs were doing an incredible job just putting so much pressure on the Crusaders. The Crusaders had troubles getting out of their own zone, but the Crusaders were able to find ways to sneak their offensive prowess in there, and they were able to capitalize on the chances they were given by the Bonnyville Pontiacs, and it wasn't very many. You could see by 17 shots the Crusaders got on Jacobson, and they were able to get 4 past them, but it didn't look at times like the Crusaders could even muster anything because the Bonnyville Pontiacs pressure was so much.
Crusaders allow the first goal, came on a power play courtesy of Alden Dupuis of the Pontiacs, and then they almost shoot themselves in the foot by taking another penalty, and you're like to yourself, oh no, here we go again. Could be a long night for the Crusaders, but Alex Rotundo scores a big goal shorthanded, and then the Crusaders end up taking the lead into the second period, up 2-1. And then Jesse Zaharchuk with a 3-point night scored a beauty goal, one of the nicest ones of the year, just dipsy-doodling his way in after he'd intercept a pass against the Pontiacs, a clearing attempt, and took it behind the net and roofed it backhand past goaltender Jacobson of the Pontiacs, take a 3-1 lead into the third period. And the Crusaders gave themselves some breathing room heading in that final frame where they converted on a power play, a 5-on-3, second straight game they scored a 5-on-3.
Yeah, the special teams for the Crusaders have come up huge the last 2 nights. Unfortunately, they didn't get that win on Friday night. But here tonight, shorthanded goal by Alex Rotundo, as you mentioned, and then Tyler Mulpey in the third getting that power play goal on a 5-on-3. Probably the most critical 5-on-3 for the Crusaders here tonight because with that, they got that extra insurance goal, and if they didn't get a goal on that 5-on-3, Bonnyville could have turned it right back up, made it a 1-goal game, but somehow the Crusaders were able to weather the pressure by the Bonnyville Pontiacs. In that third period, the Pontiacs only got 4 shots on net, so the Crusaders just kind of locked it down in the third period, but at any given time, it could have looked like the Bonnyville Pontiacs might have been able to just score at will the way they were controlling the offensive zone, but the Crusaders just kept pounding away, getting those goals that they needed so very much here tonight. It was just an incredible offensive awareness by the Crusaders over the course of the evening just to know and pick their spots against the Bonnyville Pontiacs, and some very nice goals. Alex Rotundo's breakaway shorthanded goal just squeaked in, but the fact that it got the game tied up at that point of the game was very critical for the Crusaders, and it kind of just went on from there. And they just continued to weather the storm of the Bonnyville Pontiacs tonight. We saw it the last time the Pontiacs were here. They controlled a lot of the play, and it was the reason why the Crusaders lost back in January. But tonight, the Crusaders, they played a fantastic playoff game. They just weathered everything, and they kept pushing until they got the result that they wanted, and that was the 4-1 win.
Absolutely. And Zach Clausen, best game of the year, you think might have been his best game as a Crusader in the regular season with 31 saves and really holding the game at bay in the first and second periods.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Zach Clausen was the key reason why the Crusaders were able to stay only behind 1 goal in that first period until Alex Rotundo's goal, and then he just continued to make save after save that the Bonnyville Pontiacs kept throwing shots towards his way. I mean, his defense did a great job in front of him as well, blocking shots, forcing the shots to go wide of the net. But Zach Clausen just stood tall. I mean, coming in short notice and just putting up the game that he had, not expecting to come in and play at all tonight. But he did a fantastic job atoning for last night's game. I mean, he saw a lot of rubber last night as well, 43 shots, but gave up 5 goals. Here tonight, he only gave up 1 on 32.
Yeah, a real big game from Crusaders goaltender Zach Klassen. Next up for the Crusaders, it will be Whitecourt on Wednesdays. They welcome the Wolverines for the final time this year. Jesse Zaharchuk tonight, we mentioned the big game from him. 3 points. He extends his point streak to 6 games now with 14 points in that span. As well, the Crusaders doing a great job. We mentioned another victory on home ice as they're going to play the bulk of the rest of the season on the road, nearing the final stretch here in one of those final home games Wednesday against Whitecourt here at the Sherwood Park Arena. Crusaders defeat the Bonnyville Pontiacs 4-1 here on Saturday night at the Sherwood Park Arena. That is your post-game wrap.